today, after I get done cleaning up all this mess, and I'm going to paint an airplane white. This is back to the time management. I'm going to paint that white, and after the paint job, we're going to do a compound molding video. Here's the fuselage crutch that I did for the electric Thunderbolt. It weighs 4 ounces. It's not bad. The skins will probably add another 3 ounces. So we got 7 ounces in the fuselage, and that's just a guess, but it's perfectly straight. I used the method of that I saw from Richard Oliver, and I'm pretty happy with that. And that's where you draw a straight line on a piece of wood, whatever width your fuselage is going to be, and then set the formers on that line, and then pull the fuselage in to the formers and glue it. It only added probably, I don't know, 10, 15 grams maybe tops. But this fuselage is real rigid, torsionally rigid. And I'm happy I did that, and I'm probably going to do that from now on. So what I'm getting at is you can always learn from watching other people. I have never done this system before, but as I stated, it's laser straight, so I'm going to do that again. And very torsionally rigid. Added extra piece of 3/32 on the top. Really made it rigid. Of course, then I cut the holes out between the bulkheads. Now let's look at the motor mount setup that I have here. Now, let me see if we can look inside. The system that I have here is the Bob Hunt system, and it wasn't quite wide enough to go from side to side, so I inset that into a piece of light plywood. And as I showed, I think that I have a video about that. But then these triangular blocks are glued, epoxied to that. And then of course the 1-inch nose ring will be glued in front of that, and the skins will attach to the top. And I'm going to run some stringers on this one because we don't have, there's no, this structure is different on this because it's electric. There's no engine bearers back here to the leading edge. So I'm going to run stringers on top of this, probably 1/8 inch by 1/4 basswood to the leading edge, and that'll make this nose really stiff. And then the monocoque over the top of this, and we might fiberglass 2 inches back before we finish it. No need to fiberglass the whole nose because electrics don't vibrate, but I do want this motor mount solid. I know there'll be some folks watching this and say, well, you know, maybe that's overkill or whatever. Well, I don't know. I've never done this this type mounting system in this. This is all just a guess, an experiment, something that I think will work. I mean, I don't see why not. You just got to make sure that all the joints are perfectly flat. Perfect. You want, because we want, when we glue this nose ring on, I want the whole surface to contact. That means epoxy on the fuselage sides here, and epoxy on the motor mount, and epoxy on the plywood ring. And that will go into that. And then I epoxied a 1/2 inch piece of balsa to the back side of the top half. So that should lock it in real good. I really don't have much concern about that because we're just pulling, we're not really torquing. And even if we did consider the torque, I mean, it's on there right now really good, so I'm not concerned about that. This is a test motor that I got from Will tomorrow, and just for size fitting, and I got just a ton of room in this engine compartment for all my electrics, and I'm thinking of some real neat things to do for exiting the air and for the electric plugs, how to make this as neat as possible. Because one thing about electric airplanes that I've run across is it's always spaghetti in the nose. There's always all kind of wires and garbage up in there, and I just want to make, this is a designed airplane for electric, so I want to make it as neat as possible. So that's enough of my babbling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this mess up. I'm going to paint an airplane. We'll come back, we'll do the compound molding video. That has to do with my Thunderbolt mold box that I made 10 years ago. And I was going to, I don't know, more or less re-putty, re-spackle sand and finish these again, but I think these will be alright. There's only, you know, small dents in them, and I don't think we'll have any issue with it. I need to get those started going. So I need to cut them a little bit longer. Of course, not really, because we're doing a razorback, so that doesn't much matter. So I need one there. Alright. I really like the Thunderbolt. It's just, I think the biggest reason I like it is nobody else has them. At least not done correctly. And we need, see, I added an inch on the nose of this because of its electric, so now my mold buck is short by an inch, so I need to make sure that I make these pieces when I cut them 2 inches longer than the mold buck. Some on the bottom, or some on the back side, and then we can adjust from there. I don't see much of a problem in it. Yeah, it'll look a little, it won't look quite as scale with this long a nose, but I gotta have it for electric. Anyway, I'm gonna clean the mess up. I'll load this video up so you got something to watch while I'm getting ready to do this. I had some 3/32 48-inch leftover sheeting from the original Thunderbolts in 04 and 05. So we're going to use that up. It's a little heavier, but I just don't have the funds like I used to have, so got to use up what I got. So anyway, we'll see you on the next reel. I'll edit this up and get it up on the web. Keep watching. Tight lines.